Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well, and welcome back to the Winging It Tour, where you join us on the mighty Honda Goldwing in the Alps. Today we're leaving Megève in the direction of Chamonix.
Okay, thank you Megève. We are departing the town now for our final leg of today's riding anyway. On to a similar town, albeit a little bit bigger. Chamonix is sort of a, if you like, not just a winter sports place, but a proper town in its own right. So I imagine it'll be a little bit busier than Megève was, I'm not sure. For some reason my sat-nav seems to be really loud in my ear at the moment, but I'll sort that out at some point. Right, straight on to Chamonix. Look at that view ahead. Those granite Alps, absolutely incredible. Well, I don't know if they're granite or not, but they look pretty graniticous from here. Used to seeing them covered in snow, of course, so they look quite different. So we're winding our way down the valley, but just check out the view down there. Look to our left, absolutely stunning, beautifully clear at the moment. A few days ago some storms came through, I think, and it's had the effect of clearing the air. At least that's what the waiter in the cafe or restaurant was telling us earlier. Well, stunning views down there. Absolutely amazing. Mountains ahead, one of which is Mont Blanc, still in the cloud, but still snow covered up there. Pretty inclement up there today. How impressive is that? Look at that view, my word. Stunning. I'm liking that a lot. That is awesome with a proper sense of the word. Well, I know I say it every day, but it's been an absolutely corker of a day on the bike today. Lovely weather, great roads, fantastic views. Oh, and great company, Mrs. Fly says. Thank you very much indeed. Of course, it goes without saying, Mrs. Fly is great company. Giving it large on the corners. We're giving it large in a different sort of way. What a brilliant road this is. Right, I better concentrate on what I'm doing. I'll speak to you anon. There we go, folks, on the approach to Chamonix. Mont Blanc shows its head. Look at that, absolutely amazing. Stunning mountain. Of course, tallest mountain in Europe. Something like 13,500 feet. Okay, we're not talking Himalayas tall, but it's pretty tall for around these parts. And very impressive when you're sat down here looking at it from a motorcycle. Cool. Right, a few more tunnels and then find our hotel.
Right, we made it to our hotel in Chamonix, folks. We've sort of pushed the boat out a bit for this one because it's a really pretty fancy hotel. Let me quickly show you around. Well, not much to see really. This is the main room, but how lovely does that look? All the facilities. If we go into the bathroom, you can see this is a sort of a quality affair. Check this out. A little bit different to last night's. Howdy doody. So Carol, the big question is, how much did this one cost us?
Yeah, it's expensive, this one.
What's it called? Do you remember what it's called?
The Hotel Les Grandes Alpes.
That'll do. I'll put it on the screen if it's something different.
And it's €200 for the night.
But yeah, it looks like it's worth it.
When I was looking at Chamonix, obviously, is, for those of you that don't know it, there's the central town and then there's lots of little bits of it outside. So for us, there's no use getting somewhere 4 kilometres away when you're going to have to ride in here to have a meal at night or whatever.
Yeah, this is the centre of the action, basically.
We wanted to be in the centre of town, and that's why you pay a premium for it.
All right. So we look forward to enjoying it. Oh, this is very pleasant, isn't it? It's very odd coming, I've said this before, but coming to ski resorts when it's not skiable, you really do see how the how skiing actually wrecks the sort of natural landscape. And you can see why they keep ski areas contained, because it absolutely destroys it. I'll flip the camera around and show you. There you go. You can hopefully now see this is normally ski runs, and it's just absolutely wrecked. However, great fun in the winter.
So quiet.
It is super peaceful up here. Anyway, we're going to go for a little bit of a walk, and we'll show a few of the views from up here.
Yeah.
Incredible views from off the top of the chairlift here, and I'm just looking over there where some of the glaciers are. I'll bring the camera around and show you. You can see how they've massively receded. It looks like it's probably receded, you know, relatively recently speaking, in geological time. As you can see where the sides of the where the glacier's been, there's no vegetation there. Let me show you. So that's where I reckon the glacier fed in, and then if you can follow it down, you can see the sides of the mountain there. Look, just see where the glacier's scraped through and there's no vegetation left. Spectacular nonetheless.
The great thing about up here is there's lots of marked walking routes in the summer. So we went to the tourism office and asked for a particular one. We're hoping to get to Lac Blanc quite late, which is an hour and a quarter walk. There is a bit of weather due in later, so we may have to turn around if we think we don't have enough time. But let's hope we get there.
Whoop, he said, nearly falling over as he films you walking into the distance. Well, it may have been a bit of a scramble so far, and this place is quite hard work. It's quite a difficult route, this, but well worth it. These views are just absolutely out of this world, and how lucky are we that, you know, you can jump on your motorbike a week ago and then you're here. Incredible. Well, wind on another half an hour or so, and we made it to the lake, so mission accomplished. Check this out. Sadly for you, swimming is banned.
You're not allowed to swim in it, but I understand why. It's to protect the environment and, you know, everyone. And also camping. You're not allowed to camp up here. No surprise, really.
Now, it was quite a remote walk up here, wasn't it? But there's about 1,000 people up here now. Yeah. There's a little hut just here, look. So hopefully we can get ourselves a sarnie there before the walk down. Well, my plan was to stop videoing at that point, but we went to the little cabin here to get what we thought would be a sandwich, but actually they've got way more than sandwiches available. We've got this absolutely incredible, well, I call it a flan. I don't know what you call it, Mrs. Flyer.
It's quiche.
Quiche. And it's like mountain quiche. And
yeah, I'm sorry, I've eaten most of it.
But it's absolutely flipping yummy. It's a bit currified as well. Look at that. See a shot of that? So I've got a shaky hand. Having to do this on my iPhone because I didn't bring my camera up. I didn't realise I was going to be filming this. But absolutely, bit of a mountain premium to pay though. Not that I, don't mind. It was about €50 in total for 2 beers, well, two flans.
The quiche was €15 for the quiche and salad, and we bought and then. Yeah, anyway, but that's normal mountain prices. It's not cheap, but that's what it is.
It has to be helicoptered up after all, I assume. Anyway, check out the views behind us. What a setting, eh? Right, now we'll speak to you later.
Well, you joined us back on the bike as we leave Chamonix. We've had an absolutely fantastic time here. Been a long time since I've been to Chamonix. I used to be a very regular visitor. From sort of 25 years ago to 15 years ago, I came here every year for a ski trip with the lads. Lots of happy memories here, great stuff. And yeah, it all came flooding back with a bit of a look round. We had fantastic weather, fantastic hotel. It was The hotel was called Le Grand Alps, actually Hotel Le Grand Alps, I think. Really nice, amazing people in there, very friendly staff, beautiful hotel. Yeah, one of the best places we've ever stayed, actually, I think. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a bit of a flavour for what Chamonix has to offer. Cracking town. It's a, you know, proper town in its own right, so it's very busy all year round. Great place to stay. Can't recommend it enough. Alright, that's it for France though, because we're now heading up the Chamonix Valley towards Switzerland, where we're going to route through past Sion and then down to the south into Italy towards a place called Arona, which is based on Lake Maggiore. That's our target for today. The weather forecast is set fair. There's some lovely riding on the way, a little bit of motorway too. We'll talk about that when we get on it, which should be another great day's riding. It's about 4 hours on the bike to Arona. It's great to be riding down the Chamonix Valley because I've done this before in the car. I've done it in our old aeroplane. I once flew down here past Mont Blanc on a particularly memorable flight because myself and my friend who we were flying with think we got hypoxic, which means, well, basically you're lacking in oxygen. We're up at knocking on 14,000 feet, which is basically the service ceiling of the airplane we were in, which was carburetted. And the way that you get that high in a light aircraft that's not fuel injected is to lean the mixture of the engine. And also, it so happens on light aircraft like that, you turn the engine off by leaning the mixture. So it was quite hairy, bringing it right back to lean. We found it quite hilarious, and that's when we realised we were probably getting hypoxic. Our nails were going a bit blue. Really, you should have oxygen above 10,000 feet. Anyway, we went down this valley over a saddle that we'll be crossing through in a minute. And yeah, we went on down to Lake Como on that occasion. So a similar route actually to what we're riding today. Right, we'll settle back, speak to you further along the route. So just coming into Argentière here, and this is where we got the bus to yesterday, and we then walked up the mountain to my left. You can just see the ski lift up to the left. Going up on the cable car saves you quite a lot of climb. Oh, train on my right. That's pretty cool, look at that. Brilliant. Got a thumbs up from a passenger. Bonjour, bonjour, hello, guten Tag. Hi guys. Got a bit of breakthrough on the old comms. So we're just making our way now down the Chamonix Valley towards the Swiss border. I mentioned that years ago I flew our aeroplane down here. We had a share in a plane that I did take once to Lake Como, and the saddle is just up ahead, which was the highest point we flew over on that tricky flight. Lovely day for flying around here today. Of course, if you've got much cloud about in the mountains and flying, it becomes a very dangerous pastime. Luckily on the day we did it, it was a day like today. And this is the little village of Argentière, which is another ski resort, which I've very many happy memories of. Now there's a great view of the saddle up ahead. And I can say that I've skied over that saddle and I've flown over that saddle, and now we're going to ride, well, along it somehow. We're not going to go over it, clearly. What a glorious day again, eh, to be out on the bike. One of those glad to be alive type of days. And we're going to tick off 2 more countries today that the Goldwing's taken us to, Switzerland and Italy. I said I was going to mention about Switzerland because if you've not ridden there before, number one, you need to play by the rules in terms of speed limits there. They're very punitive fines if you speed and get caught. And the other thing is, if you go on their main roads and motorways, you have to have something called a vignette for their motorways. So I applied for one online last night. It lasts for a year. Well, it runs out on the 1st of January regardless of when you buy it. It cost me about €50, I registered the bike's number plate and then it stays with this bike for the period of the year. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. If you want to ride in Switzerland and you're going to go on main roads, you're going to have to get yourself a vignette. So do remember to do that before you hit the roads. You can't do it afterwards. Okay, we're into the first twisties of the day. A few hairpins just to wake us up. Nothing too tight, I'm glad to say. A little bit damp on the roads here. We did have some rain overnight. It was the stuff that was forecast to come in actually while we were on our walk, but luckily it came in later than forecast, so didn't affect us whatsoever. Got to admire these cyclists. Nothing coming, we can give them some space. The corner that keeps on giving. Get very blasé about these views and these roads. I mean, they're absolutely incredible, as you can see. You just take it for granted when you're here, but you know, give it a week's time, we'll be back home. This will seem like a million miles away. So must remember to drink it in while we're here. Just coming up to the final sort of ski resort, if you like, in the Chamonix area called Valacine, and then after that it's the Swiss border. And this is Valacine, that final ski resort of the Chamonix Valley, as I mentioned. So very soon we should be hitting the Swiss border. I don't know if there's going to be a fanfare, because of course Switzerland isn't in the EU, is it? So maybe there will actually be a border there, I don't know. Certainly when you go over the mountain on your skis, there's no border. The cyclist that we're following is coming down that hill. Okay, it's downhill, but he was doing 50 miles an hour all the way down. Absolutely incredible. And it's quite twisty, so actually quite hard to overtake them. I took a few, but this last one eluded me. He's very fast. Right, I think the border's coming up very soon. 90 metres. There's a place called Châtellard Frontière. Here we are. This must be it. Oh yeah, and there is, look, there is a border. Wow. Well, cheerio, France. There's a thing there saying vignette obligatoire, so luckily we've got that. No one in there, so hey ho. Oh, welcome to Switzerland, everybody. Fantastic. Another country to mark off on the Goldwing stripes, as it were. Cool. I don't know that much about Switzerland. I've been here a few times, but I've never stayed here because it's so darn expensive, frankly. I mean, everywhere in the Alps is expensive, but Switzerland in particular. Later on in the trip, if the weather pays ball, we will be coming back to Switzerland. And we will be staying here, so that's going to be a first. That's all depending on the weather, though. This winging it tour is evolving as we go. We keep changing our plans. We had a little discussion last night. We've changed our plans again. In fact, it might change again tonight. We'll see. It's all dependent on weather, really. We're keeping an eye on the route home north, because we don't want to be riding home in torrential rain, obviously. Well, look at this, folks. So this is Switzerland. Nothing at this point to differentiate it from France, to be fair. Well, the scenery continues to impress in Switzerland, as you would imagine. Just making our way up to Martigny now. Quite busy on the roads here, as you can see. Just trying to be a little bit cognizant of speed limits as we go, although actually we can do 80k along here. One of the great things about using Google Maps, it shows you the speed limits in kilometres an hour and how fast you're actually going. Mind you, bit of hairpinage, so I don't think we're doing 80 around there. Can't see anything coming. back in the climb.